Alligator Energy has launched a $25.5 million capital raise. The company's CEO, Gregory Hall, joins me now. Hi, Gregory.
Hello, Carolyn. Nice to see you.
So you've received firm commitments for this placement. The market must like what you guys are doing.
We believe so. We've advanced our primary Samphire Uranium project here in South Australia to a stage where we can really now open up the runway to achieve a number of aims to take that forward. We've also been doing uranium exploration in the Northern Territory for many, many years, and we have a new project in South Australia for uranium for greenfields exploration, along with looking at some energy minerals. So the combination of that is what the market is interested in, but in particular in the uranium supply side leading into nuclear power.
Just on that, about the Samphire Uranium Project in South Australia, for investors who may not know, what stage of development is the project at, and where will those funds be allocated?
Yeah, so the Samphire Project we acquired in the year 2020 of a company that we discovered it some 14 years before. It was advanced but not fully developed. We've now taken it to enhance the resource to a resource that can be mined by the in situ uranium mining, solution mining method, where you don't move the rock, you don't dig the ground, you don't have a tailings dam, so it's a very low impact method. It's been used in South Australia for 25 years on other projects, so it's a well-known method of mining uranium. So we've taken that Samphire project through our initial 2 resource upgrades. We've done bench scale test work to extract the uranium and show we can do that. Now we're leading to a field recovery trial where we do an in situ pilot trial to extract uranium at a commercial level, if you like, in early next year. So the funds we've raised now will enable us to keep that work going forward, to do a full feasibility study next year, initiate the full mining lease approval, and based on the approximate timeline we've put out previously, we could see construction and commissioning of this project in 26-27. So it's a valuable project to the company, of course, but it's a valuable project to the state, because South Australia has had uranium mining now for 35, 40 years. And so it's one of the few places in Australia where you can advance projects on a bipartisan basis politically.
More broadly, you're looking to advance uranium development activity. Can you outline what this will entail?
Yeah, look, going forward in our company, not only do we have the Samphire Uranium Project on a path with its initial resource and taking it through both final test work, feasibility and approvals, but we've got a lot more area around our initial resource at Blackbush on that project. We have a secondary deposit called Plumbush, which we have not done any work on yet, which was also discovered 14 years ago. There's also a big series of channels and extension of buried paleo channels at 60 to 80 metres deep, where the main resource is, extending to the south some 10 kilometres. So we've got an opportunity to really expand this resource base from its initial project scenario. And the beauty of that is once you build an initial plant with in situ recovery, it's easy to duplicate, it's easy to expand. So part of the reason we've raised the funds today is to do that resource expansion of this uranium project going forward, because many times in situ recovery, when you find the initial traps that capture uranium, you find a lot more, and so you can then expand them later. So that's a key part of the dollars, along with our exploration work in the Northern Territory and our Big Lake project in the Cooper Basin. So a range of opportunities to expand the resource base of the company.
Let's talk a bit more about the uranium market. There's a push to lift the uranium mining ban in Western Australia. Now, I know Alligator doesn't have projects in WA, but could this be appealing to the company?
Well, look, we understand the reason why that's starting to be discussed, because the broader uranium market and nuclear power business is expanding dramatically. So politically, there's more and more countries around the world that are removing old bans on nuclear and wanting to restart. The latest one I saw the other day was Italy is now establishing a group to restart nuclear power in that country. Sweden recently overturned its ban, and a range of countries have done this. But the key thing is that the Russian uranium supply, Russian nuclear fuel supply, both uranium and enrichment and things, is now has been a big part of the market for 20 years. That's now diminishing because of the global geopolitics. So Western utilities in Europe and the US are now going to take less of that material, and they're looking for other sources, and they're looking for Western sources. So the primary countries they're looking for uranium are Canada, the US, Australia, and certain countries in Africa, such as Namibia. So there's primary shift from main purchasing of previous Russian supply out of Europe and the US to Western utilities. So it's certainly the time for all Australian states to reconsider this ban, because we have significant projects in Queensland and Western Australia, as well as South Australia and Northern Territory. So I would fully support that we review that, lifting that ban.
Gregory Hall, CEO of Alligator Energy, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Carolyn.